so this is one game that I Expect You to Die 1 is the first game of the trilogy, which I played by myself. I did by myself, and as you can see, I did not 100% it. But now I'm gonna just go through all the puzzles and do the commentary.
This is a commentary bubble. The button you just pressed toggles them on and off. They are now on in all of the puzzles, as well as this room. They contain interesting developer tidbits. For instance, the time frame with the art style we were going for was late 50s, early 60s. You know, the prime spy era. Of course, we needed to fudge the technology here and there. For instance, Zor's retina scanner was conceived of in 1935, but the first working one wasn't until the early 80s. But this button and this radio are period specific.
This is a very thick tomato. Okay, where are you?
Oh hey, this is the commentary note I made way back when to prototype commentary notes. Congrats on finding it, I guess? On I Expect You to Die, we designers would often write really hacky code in order to test ideas, before tech went through and made less janky final versions. Commentary notes were no different.
Cool.
You have to be careful when you're conducting playtests in VR to make sure that your guests aren't too immersed. We've had a half dozen or so people fall right out of their chairs. They're reaching for things. That's why we put a nice soft rug underneath our playtesting chair to protect both the hardware and people's knees. One thing that we kept in mind as we were designing puzzles was, can items be used for more than one purpose? For instance, the bottle is fun to play around with. You can pop the cork, release the champagne, have a little moment of celebration, but you can also break the bottle and use the shards of glass to cut the wires on the bomb. Is it the multi-tool or the unitasker? Whenever possible, we go for the multi-tool.
It was a very weird liquid. Congrats, guys. Now, who took my sandwich? I did. Okay. That was fun.
For texture memory and draw call reasons, there are only 4 unique book covers in the office, but you can be sure that all are standard issue for EOD agents.
How to earn your due. Oh, your double O, not your due. Defense driving, the complete guide to espionage. I don't know that. Seduction, the complete guide to espionage.
I Expect You to Die currently supports many control schemes, and while that broadens the potential player base, it also comes with significant challenges. The tools behind our tutorial system are quite robust, so that we could create different slide orderings and focus on different aspects for each control scheme. Try the different controllers and you'll see what I mean. We went through many names for what we now call souvenirs. They were additional objectives, they were spy achievements, mementos. No matter what their name, they're fun to play with. Enjoy collecting them all. Another thing we wanted to keep in mind was close interactions versus far interactions. Sometimes far interactions can set up a grand scale of things, but really it's the close interactions that work the best in VR. Freezing things and being able to look all around them is really cool. Being up close and personal is more fun in VR.
There's a lot of stuff in here.
One of the problems we had to solve on I Expect You to Die was objects getting hidden behind other objects in a level. Players would constantly lose objects behind desks and chairs while solving the puzzle. Using physics raycast against every object in the scene to determine if the player can see it wasn't a viable solution due to performance concerns. Instead, we came up with an approximation called hidden volumes. A hidden volume is essentially a trigger volume that does two things when an object falls into it. First, it applies a special extra shader to the object so that it can be seen through other objects. And then, it puts the object on a separate physics layer, which allows the player to highlight and pick up objects through other objects.
Thank you.
The I Expect You to Die you are playing now is the end result of many, many iterations. This villainous librarian was the antagonist in one of those iterations. And speaking of iterations, we completed many of them with the help from our playtesters. Early in development, we'd have coworkers try prototypes, or even cardboard mock-ups of puzzles. Then we would bring naive players into our offices to playtest a game in white box form. That is, most of the art would be untextured, simple forms, mostly cubes. Then later we'd continue almost daily in-house testing, as well as sending the game out to third-party testing facilities. Among other more targeted questions, we'd always ask these 5. What was your favorite or best moment or interaction? What was your least favorite or most frustrating moment? Was there anything you wanted to do but the game didn't support? If you could wave a magic wand and add, remove, or change anything, what would it be? And when did you feel most clever? By tracking these answers, we could focus in on how to make our game as great as possible.
Yeah.
Alright then, let's make sure your implants are working properly. We wouldn't want any incidents to tarnish our perfect track record.
Third game.
I find testing your spine to be an absolute joy, don't you? Try leaning left. Sometimes our agents need to lean both directions. Now that we're finished with calisthenics, let's move on to dexterity. You found the trigger button. Fully extending that same index finger is what we... It seems you have a grip on those controls. I've left you a very cryptic note by the projector. Try picking it up using the grip or trigger button.
Uh-oh. I threw away the note.
If you don't pick up my note, you'll never read my clever message. Use your middle finger for the grip button or index finger for the trigger button.
Where'd I throw it? Dang it.
You seem to have dropped some important training items from your desk. No.
Good. Now, I don't normally condone the use of fire indoors. But what the hell? Pick up the lighter on your left and use your left hand to press the Y button, or right hand to press the B button to light it. Use Y or B to burn the note.
Oh, I never use that. I just use the clicker.
Excellent. Let's practice aiming with your new telekinetic powers. Push forward on the thumbstick. It's below your thumb. The circle that appears... While holding the target with the grip button, press the A button to hover it above the very real plant to your left. Don't just drop it. Hover it with A or X. While holding the target with the... Well done. I wish we could afford real plants, but our dry martini budget is disproportionate to, well, everything else. Now, try to hover another target over the chair in front of you.
Oh, watch Code Lyoko.
Excellent work. Let's try one more if you're feeling frisky. Hover the third target over the round table to your right.
Oh, that's the... Oh, okay. So this is the table in the corners.
Well placed. Now, there's only one thing
Gone?
to do to
I'm
targets
gonna get
around here.
demonetized.
Well, two if you count placing them. Pick up the gun next to you and try shooting a target by pressing the B or Y button with your thumb. Great shot. Now, try to shoot another target. Your B... Only one target left.
Wait.
Will you pass this rigorous test?
I want to see my skill. There?
While
there.
holding the gun, press the B or Y button to fire. If nothing
Dang.
else, agents need to be able to shoot 3 immobile targets. You've passed the test. Now, opening drawers and compartments will be instrumental in navigating the various desks you may encounter on your dangerous missions. Grab the top drawer handle to your right with the grip button. You're in tip-top shape. I dare say we could double your workload, but we'd never do that. Would we? No. Well...
New missions will arrive through the door. Okay.
Well done. Feel free to explore your new office. When you're ready, put in Operation Friendly Skies to begin that mission.
Okay.
We're calling this mission Operation Friendly Skies. I hope you like cars and airplanes, and
I have a
cars
drink over
in
here.
airplanes.
Oh.
Dr. Zor, corporate billionaire by day, underhanded villain by night, has a cargo plane scheduled to depart for Zanzibar this very evening. We need you to infiltrate the plane before it takes off, gain access to the vehicle held within, and drive it right off the airplane. Our intel assures us Zor's car is equipped to handle a fall from any height, so we're almost positive you won't die. Press the start button to begin your mission.
1 second.
The reticle is a crucial part of I Expect You to Die. In the game, the reticle moves in 3D space based on the level's collision geometry. We scale the size of the reticle to avoid drastic changes in size as it moves around in the world. The further the reticle is from the player, the higher the scale factor that is applied to it, and by doing this, we are able to maintain a fairly uniform reticle size. We position the reticle in this manner so that the reticle is at the same depth as the object the player's eyes are converging on. Not doing this causes a doubling effect on the reticle that is unpleasant.
That's wild. And it's beautiful! I love it! I'm gonna turn around. Alright, there we go. Oh.
You may be wondering why this car can never reach Zanzibar. It has some of the most high-tech weaponry in Dr. Zor's considerable arsenal. Naturally, we'd like to poke at it a bit. Drive it off the plane, and you may just earn that vacation you're always going on about.
Vacation DLC. Oh. 303, 303. Alright, where are you?
In I Expect You to Die, we use a surface-based collision audio system. The game uses 4 different types of surfaces, which are hard, soft, glass, and metal. Every object that can be picked up has a normal hitting sound and a heavy hitting sound for each of these surface types. When an object collides with the world, we first determine the type of surface it collided with, and then we use the collision velocity to blend the normal hitting sound and the heavy hitting sound for that surface type.
Oh, money. Oh, cash. Oh, more cash. That is not real currency. That is $10,000. Wow. Oh, okay, here you go. Cool. Are you...
When we first started this project, it was a series of interface prototypes to see what would feel good in VR. We wanted a mostly sitting experience to help eliminate motion sickness, and we wanted an input scheme that everyone would have access to, but that wouldn't break your presence in VR. The mouse interface Jason and Matt worked on had telekinesis, which felt pretty good, but there was one problem. We wanted you to feel cool and be awesome, but who can be awesome while effectively being tied to a chair? But wait, spies get into situations like this all the time, and they always manage to turn the tables. What if we could make an escape the room game themed around that idea?
Oh, that's a genius idea.
For location, we wanted something that was familiar and had good affordances. That is, things around you would lend themselves to natural interactions you could immediately grasp and understand.
Oh.
If those affordances were varied, pulling, turning, pushing, opening, all the better. A car interior lent itself to that, as well as the seated experience we are after.
So we were presented with this idea of a button that releases a pile of scorpions. Bonnie and I thought it was hilarious and had a fun time trying to figure out what we could record. We started with some plastic tongs from the studio's kitchen for the claws. We also had a whole bunch of plastic straws that we had cut up into small pieces for another recording session. So I grabbed a handful of those and started bouncing them around in my palms. The result sounded like a bunch of little crunchy bug feet skittering around, so we recorded Bonnie clacking the tongs like castanets while I bounced these little straw pieces around in my palms. We must have looked ridiculous. But mix in a little hissing sound and you've got yourself a pile of scorpions.
The original phone messages were all submitted by fans and a few Shell folks via a voice mailbox at Shell Games advertised on our blog. The distortion you hear is real. Anthony Daniels' lines, as Daniel Sands, were added after the creation of the other 3 puzzles to foreshadow Puzzle 2.
Wait a minute. No, I can't. What time is it? 9:45? That clock's accurate. Neutral. Park. I wanna... Okay.
Intruder detected. Present eye for retina scan. Scan failed. Targeting.
Huh?
Laser avoided. Deploying secondary countermeasures.
Oh!
Oh, the old ticking bomb. I'm partial to plastic explosives myself, but you must respect the classics. I believe defusing bombs is covered in basic training, yes?
How about no? Oh,
No
that
ticking is
exploded.
good ticking, as they say. Now, can we please focus on getting the car out of the plane?
How about this? Handler, shut up. I'm trying my best. Oh, if only I had one more dollar bill. Oh, wait a minute, I do. Boop, boop, ba-doom. I got $60,000 in my hands right here. All being telekinetically held.
Next message.
Zor, there is an urgent matter we must discuss. Contact me on a secure line immediately.
After blowing the back door open, try creating a net of hovered money outside the window. That way you can catch all the items flying out of the back of the plane. Though they are non-interactive items. Sorry, performance reasons.
What?
After blowing the back door open, try creating a net of hovered money outside the window. That way you can catch all the items flying out of the back of the plane. Though they are non-interactive items. Sorry, performance reasons.
Oh, net of money. Oh, okay. So, that was a joke, is what you were saying?
Originally, this car puzzle was going to be the 3rd puzzle in the game, with 2 before it also taking place on the plane. The gas was going to be released into the cargo hold during the 2nd puzzle, explaining its presence during the 3rd puzzle. Now it's just part of the dangerous environment that you start in.
Doo-doo-ba-doo. I don't need those. Where do I put them? Over here? Alright. Dang it. don't they, room? You know? You know what I mean, guys? Don't say room, because I don't want them to talk to me.
Next message.
Hello, Dr. Sword. This is Thaddeus Bumblesnatch, steampunk adventurer. I'm just calling you after our last epic battle, 80 years ago, or perhaps 5 minutes ago. I'm not sure. The time machine's a little bit wonky. I had dropped $20 out of my pocket, and I believe one of you, your clones or henchmen, picked it up, and I would really appreciate
So,
it if
time
at some
travel's
point
canon
you
to
could
this
get that back to me,
universe?
depending on where in time you are. You could leave it at the safety deposit box at First National Bank. Hopefully you don't then, your future self doesn't then rob the bank and then steal it back. Anyway, call me back. Yes, thank you. Bye.
Weapons offline. Weapons offline. Weapons offline. Weapons offline.
Dang it.
Next message.
We may have an issue with Operation Toxic Rain. I'll keep
Chocolate
you
rain?
posted.
Chocolate rain. I don't know the words of the song.
Next
Chocolate
message.
rain.
Hey, you know me. It's your conscience calling. I'm calling to remind you of what your support group said. Keep your world domination plans fair and balanced. Fair and balanced. Just like if you're going to take over England, you got to conquer New England, too, you know? Fair, balanced. Same thing for New Zealand. You got to get rid of Old Zealand, too. You get the picture, right? You know me, buddy. I'm your evil conscience. I wouldn't lie to you. See
Yeah.
you, support group.
See it, support group.
Next message.
Miss Lincoln has decided to cooperate. Operation Toxic Rain is back on schedule.
And schedule.
Next message.
Dr. Zor, this is Peggy from Mike T's Exotic Pet Center. We're calling you to let you know that your electric eels have arrived, so you can pick those up at any time. But the giant squid won't be in until next week. Okay?
Oh, the giant
Thanks
squid.
a lot. Bye.
That's a reference to the third game.
Next message.
Hello, yes, my agent told me to get in touch about my audition yesterday. This is Tiffany, by the way. I hope that it went well. Of course, I'm very excited for the opportunity. Please tell me that I did okay. In any case, I really wanted to see how you were. I hear that there are certain things that might happen if I don't succeed at this job that I just auditioned for. So please let me know. I will be available pretty much 24/7. I will be awake. So I will talk to you later. Please don't hurt me. Okay, bye.
Next message.
Dr. Zor, this is Audrey from down the hall. Some of your mail ended up in my box again. Goodbye.
Next message.
Yeah, Dr. Zor, this is Alan over at the A&K Freight again.
Again.
And, we've still got that crate labeled Death Engine sitting over here, and you've got 5 days to pick it up, or we're going to move it in unclaimed and sell it. So give me a call. You got the number. Bye.
Next message.
Hello, Dr. Zor. This is Jimmy Fung. I am told that you are looking to enlist the services of a mechanic. I am a mechanic. That is to say, I fix things. You may find my services desirable. My terms are simple. 15,000 in advance, 15,000 upon completion. Also, I will need you to inspect a mole. Healthcare is difficult to come by in my profession, and you are the only evil doctor I know.
Wait, what?
I look forward to doing business.
Next message.
Hi, I'm looking for Dr. Zor. I'm sure you've been missing your tiger shark spot, and we found him in our girls' high school swimming pool. He's about, 15 feet long, has a freaking laser strapped to his head, and the tag says he belongs to you. So please give me a call at 412-555-2121 to pick him up. We'd like to get rid of him as soon as possible. He's already eaten one of our girls, and I think you might have to pay for that. Bye-bye.
Next message.
Hello. I'm calling on behalf of Good Charities to personally invite you, as CEO of the Duraxis, to our upcoming charity ball.
Base?
This is our most heartfelt, personal invitation, because while we have received complaints about your behavior at some of our past events, we also recognize that there would be certain repercussions should we not invite you. We would also like to extend our most heartfelt discouragement at actually attending the ball, but you are invited. Goodbye.
Come on. No. Cancel.
Next message.
It's your birthday, Dr. Zor. Happy birthday, Dr. Zor. One more year, have no fear. It's your birthday, Dr. Zor.
Happy birthday, Dr. Zor.
Next message.
Dr. Zor, Andrea, meet me at Dock 14 at midnight. I have the code for Zorax's Q85. Trust me.
Huh?
Next message.
Good afternoon, Mr. Zor. This is Roy Riddleson. I'm the general manager of the Seven Seasons Hotel, and I just wanted to take the opportunity to apologize personally to you for the fiasco last night. Our staff was not prepared for your arrival, and certainly, as you point out, reservations are not necessary for a man of your social status. Totally reasonable. Just a little mistake on the part of my staff. For that, I apologize, and as you know, those staff are no longer working anywhere. Please don't worry yourself with the cost of repairs or decoration. I'm sure our insurance can handle that, so don't trouble yourself over it. There's certainly no reason to send over any associates. We'll make sure that everything is properly repaired and rebuilt in accordance with your notes from the other day. Please know that you're always welcome at the Seven Seasons, and we would be happy to host you and your guests at any time. Gratis, naturally. Thank you for your time, sir.
Next message.
Hey, yo, Dr. Zor. Yeah, this is your buddy from the 220. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. Hey, don't you forget, I still need that money you owe me. You know, you became all rich and powerful. Don't you think you can get away with taking my money? So, I'll be waiting for it. You know where you can find me. Don't you think I forgot?
Next message.
Hello, Zor. This is Dr. Monsanto Vesuvius. I know what you did to my dolphins, and it's not funny.
Huh?
I will get you.
Vaporeon?
System resetting. Weapons online. Next message.
Hey, Dr. Zor. Hi, how you doing? Agent 13 here. I was just wondering about the hazard pay on that last mission. I was told that it was going to be 15% ahead of salary, and I noticed that on my check, I only got 10%. I know that I should just generally take this to payroll, but seeing as how we worked so closely together, and I took that Zeta Ray for you, I was wondering maybe we could hash this out. Okay, well, anyway, I'm looking forward to your call. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Next message.
Okay,
Hi, Dr. Zor. I got your voice message. It said, regarding the poison, my command is ingest. Now, is that ingest with a J or with a G? It's kind of a big difference. Please get back to me.
Oh, say what now?
Next message.
Zorro, what is up?
No,
I assume I'll be seeing you for
probably...
happy hour tonight at Mahanigan's. Half-price wings and bomb shots. We'll get gassed. Nah. All right.
Monster out. Monster. Oh, okay.
Deploying scorpions.
No. Oh, dang it. Ugh. Scorpions. Doo-doo.
Next message.
Hi, Dr. Zor. I'm from Future Villain Youth Scouts, and I'm calling to let you know we're running an Evilicious one-day special on aged almond cookies. Only 15 calories and 27 grams of cyanide per serving. I'm sure you're going to love these. Call me back. It's Trixie.
Next message.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Dr. Zor. So glad to finally have reached you. You owe the Carnegie Library some $1 million for a book you haven't returned since 1952. It is a copy of the Confederacy of Dunces, and we would very much like it returned. Do return the call. We'll speak to you shortly. Thank you.
I'll need that.
Unconventional, but then again, convention never was your strong suit. You'd better drive the car off the plane before something else explodes.
Oh. I'd rather listen to the rest of these.
Aló, buenas, mensaje para el doctor de parte de la guardería de gatos mimado para confirmar su cita a 4 de la tarde en la sucursal de reunión de Caracas. Le queremos pedir al doctor que si es tan amable, por favor, que asegure que Chispa no venga cargado con ningún dispositivo letal esta vez. Tenía seguros por el incidente el mes pasado. Gracias, doctor. 4 de la tarde, Unión de Bello, Caracas. Gracias.
Next message.
Dr. Zor.
Brack. Oh, come on, that's moving with me. I find that quite unrealistic.
Next message.
Hello. This is Thaddeus.
Oh, come on.
I'm just calling you after our last episode.
Already heard that one.
Parachutes deployed.
Oh, 19 minutes. World record. I spent most of that time listening to voicemails. Those voicemails were really funny.
We finished dissecting Zor's car, and only 2 technicians died in the process. A new record. A few of Zor's car phone messages were from the head of a pharmaceutical company that produces lady shampoo. I hope they have plenty on hand, because things are about to get hairy. And dirty. Thus the need for the shampoo.
Yeah. Deep dive or squeaky clean? They don't.
Zor's people recognize you. You'll need to destroy Zor's...
I'm gonna just do squeaky clean.
Zor's people recognize you now, so you'll be going undercover for this mission. I hope you're not scared of heights. Data retrieved from Zor's car confirms information linked to us from a Dr. Lincoln. We have also heard news that Zor's lieutenant, Daniel Sands, has been researching a supervirus. We need you to infiltrate the lab and destroy that virus.
Yeah.
We believe Zoraxis is creating a deadly supervirus.
The final Operation Squeaky Clean combines science-based puzzles with some light security evasion.
Get into that lab.
But original versions of this level leaned much more intensely into the security side of things. I'm pretty sure we could make an entirely new level based on some of the stuff we tried and cut, like hiding from security cameras and eavesdropping on conversations in adjacent rooms. Maybe we still will. If we do, pretend you didn't listen to this. The final Operation Squeaky Clean combines science-based puzzles with some light security evasion. but original versions of this level leaned much more intensely into the security side of things. I'm pretty sure we could make an entirely new level based on some of the stuff we tried and cut, like hiding from security cameras and eavesdropping on conversations in adjacent rooms. Maybe we still will. If we do, pretend you didn't listen to this.
By the way, that is a reference to the second game? Huh. Oh, hold on.
One of the big concerns in window washing was how players afraid of heights would react. We wanted to make it manageable for them, but we also felt the sense of height was an essential part of the setting and didn't want to lose that. We spent a lot of time changing the platform size and railing height in order to try to hit the right balance, and even created a list of everyone at Shell Games who was afraid of heights so we could subject them to our cruel experiments. It's probably not completely solved, but I think we got the game to the place where agrophobes wouldn't be driven out, at least. I mean, if you are listening to this, you got through it. Though this bubble is on the ground below, so you're probably not that afraid of heights anyway.
Yeah.
Here is a problem we struggled with for a while. Before the window is broken, you want to be further away from the building so that interactions with the window feel good. After the window is broken, however, you want to be as close to the building as possible so that you can interact with what is inside easily. In a game where moving the player is one of the quickest ways to kick them out of the experience, this presented a huge problem. We tried several things, teleporting the player forward on window break, which players didn't notice but felt like a bug in footage, moving them forward super slowly over the course of 5 minutes, which most didn't notice but those who did freaked out, and the idea that this level could be a standing level, where the player could physically step forward and back. We even tried turning the window washing platform into a cherry picker that the players could move forward and backwards at will, which was interesting. Nauseating, but interesting. So how did we solve it, in the end? Well, we didn't. We made it go away. David and Chris sidestepped the problem entirely by angling the window away from you, so the player could be right up against the building without feeling pressed against the glass. It's a little architecturally weird, but never let realistic architecture get in the way of good gameplay design.
I like it, personally.
Oh, the sandwich. Since we had set aside some time for Foley recording, lots of test tubes, beakers, coffee thermoses, and things to tap and hit against metal and glass, I decided to do realistic Foley for what it was like to throw a sandwich. Turns out, not as interesting as you would hope, but very messy. I took 2 slices of bread and secured them together with a toothpick in an attempt to minimize mess, and threw that thing against all surfaces imaginable. The result from everything? Very light tapping sounds and lots of crumbs everywhere. The final sandwich you hear in-game is doctored up in post to be more interesting, because, sadly, real sandwiches are not as fun as you'd think.
Are there any secrets of any secret, that thing? No? Okay.
Breach detected. Initiating security measures.
Oh. Attention, Dr. Ashley Lincoln. It's come to our attention that you're engaging in unauthorized antivirus research after hours. Medical advocates that there are better uses for personal time, such as spending it at home with your family. It would be a shame if something were to happen to them while you're in the lab working on an unauthorized project. Oh, that's evil. That's satanic. That's disgusting.
Security online. Security online. ID card required.
ID card. Oh.
The idea of a paper airplane was something we wanted for a long time, but never got around to making it for the game. Then, the Saturday after GDC, I grabbed some of my friends in the game industry, and we sat down and had a paper airplane jam. It took us about 4 hours, but it worked out well.
This periodic table actually...
The idea of a paper airplane was something we wanted for a long time, but never got around to making it for the game.
Oh.
Then, the Saturday after GDC, I grabbed some of my friends in the game industry, and we sat down and had a paper airplane jam. It took us about 4 hours, but it worked out well, and we got it in the game.
Okay.
ID accepted. Security disabled.
Where'd my hand go?
Full disclosure, Agent, I don't really know how to make an antivirus.
Oh, come
However,
on. I'm going to have
Sean
to
in
do this all
HR
one-handed.
says you tested well in chemistry, so give it a go. Save
This
millions of
periodic
lives
table
and
actually required a
don't
lot of
blow
iteration,
yourself
despite being a simple object. When the table was big, it would obstruct huge chunks of the player's view when they brought it near, or cause them to knock things off the platform. Smaller was better, but when we made it small, the table blent into the wall, and people wouldn't pick it up, getting completely blocked on the puzzle. The solution wound up being to stop tweaking the size and just make the table a little crooked, which triggers that impulse players had to straighten it out, and thus try to interact with it. It's a good example of how the small details are so critical in a game like this, and that tweaks can change a puzzle from unbeatable to solvable.
Huh. Are there any other bubbles? Glass. I could have cut the wires. But you didn't. Oh. Grab that back. Nope. Huh. Oh, fire, burn. Let me burn this after reading. Okay. Squeaky clean. Boom, boom, boom. So as minion and the henchman benefits. Secret formulas and you. Okay. Oh, I'm really thirsty. If you get what I mean. Not like that, creep. No. I'll leave it. GRY. Blue, green, red. G.I. Joe.
Agent, you've been spotted. Quick, act naturally. All clear. They bought the window washer routine. It seems you have a job if this whole secret agent thing falls through.
Hey, handler, can you not do that? Ugh, I only did this so that I could listen to the commentary. There's no commentary here. At least no more commentary. So I'm just gonna have to listen to the sandwich one.
Oh, the sandwich.
Oh,
Since we had
the
set aside some time for Foley recording,
Huh.
lots of test tubes, beakers, coffee thermoses, and things to tap and hit against metal and glass, I decided to do realistic Foley for what it was like to throw a sandwich. Turns out, not as interesting as you would hope, but very messy. I took 2 slices of bread and secured them together with a toothpick in an attempt to minimize mess, and threw that thing against all surfaces imaginable. The result from everything? Very light tapping sounds and lots of crumbs everywhere. The final sandwich you hear in-game is doctored up in post to be more interesting, because, sadly, real sandwiches are not as fun as you'd think.
This, and then NGI, what? What's ARRE? No, what's NGY? What does that make? Does that just explode? Should I not do that? Should I do that? I want to do that. Buy one. Purple, yellow, red. Purple. Oh, yeah. Maybe. One hand. My hand's itch right now. Purple, yellow, red.
Neutralization attempt blocked. Playing pre-recorded message.
Found a conscience despite our threats. Well, I'm afraid you won't have a chance to use your antivirus. We're changing the timetable and launching the super virus. Today.
Get it.
The addition of this launch sequence actually came fairly late in the development of this level, emerging from a full pod brainstorm focused on addressing the things we felt were not quite clicking. We'd previously tried several climactic encounters that took place entirely inside the lab, many of which were more about retrieving a sample of the virus, but these lacked dramatic punch. We were also dissatisfied with the fact that the outside of the lab was visually cool, but hardly anything happened out there. By bringing the virus itself outside for the final act, we created a dramatic reveal and solved 2 problems at once.
Well done, Agent. There will be no outbreak today. Let's get you out of there.
Bonk. What am I beaming? Where are you? Beaming me up?
A bit of bad news. Your test scores for window washing came back. It seems breaking a window is generally frowned upon while washing it.
Oh, well, that's too bad, so sad. Shut up, child.
While... Your next mission will take you to the beautiful Caribbean, but this is no vacation. I already told you we can't afford that. You'll need to destroy Zor's top-secret submarine, but don't count on using an escape pod. We find those things at the bottom of the ocean all the time. The people inside are usually pretty dead.
Pretty dead. I'm hungry. Oh, that has an extra bit of spice to it. I almost died eating that. Oh.
Welcome to our state-of-the-art Zoraxis escape pod. An explosion has disabled primary functions. This is an emergency. Please start...
While brainstorming for puzzles, we had a lot of ideas. One of which was a bathroom at a spy party. It would house the secret entrance to something, and you'd be thwarting its security in hilarious ways. But then we realized bathrooms have mirrors, which we were avoiding. Did you ever notice the car doesn't have rear view or side view mirrors? Bathrooms also usually have lots of water and cloth towels, both costly to performance. Oh well, no spy bathroom for you.
No! I need to go poo!
This was the first puzzle we physically prototyped with cardboard boxes, or as we have come to lovingly refer to it as, brown boxing.
A crucial aspect of any great VR experience is hitting that 90 frames per second. On I Expect You to Die, one of our project goals from the get-go has been to hit that target frame rate.
No.
We have taken several steps to achieve this, one of which was to use baked lighting for all static objects in the level and use 1 or 2 directional lights for the dynamic objects. However, in the deep dive level, we wanted to increase the tension during the self-destruct sequence by flashing a red light. Since turning on and off a real-time red light with dynamic shadows was not viable for us, we tried something different. We created 2 additional light bakes for the level, one using red light sources and another using dark light sources. Then, during the self-destruct sequence, we switched between the red and the dark bake lighting based on an interval to fake the effect of a flashing red light.
Dang it. Good try. Alright.
A crucial aspect of any great VR experience is hitting that 90 frames per second.
Oh, hello. Oh, hi. Actually, this is Naomi Kyle. Hey. Hope you're enjoying this submarine experience. I am, of course, the voice of the submarine AI that you hear in your head. Hopefully that means that you're completely sane and enjoying this game thoroughly. I Expect You to Die was actually a game that I demoed a while ago and was very, very interested in playing a character in. So I reached out to Shell Games, who made this amazing game that you are currently in, and I hope that you guys enjoy it because I had a really great time voicing this character for you. So hope you don't die. Bye.
For one brief, beautiful afternoon, an epic attack and battle with a giant squid was floated as a climax to this puzzle, before budgetary sanity reeled us back in. Perhaps in a future installment? But only if you go and post in the comments that you want more squid battles.
Squid Game! Huh.
Escape pod drained.
Can I put this in there? Okay. We'll just deal with that later.
Escape pod drained. Engine running.
Ascend!
Wasn't that easy? The engine is engaged and we are starting our ascent. Just sit back and relax. Escape pod drained. System malfunction. Structural integrity failing. Hull secure. Warning. Engine overheating. Would you like to vent oxygen? Venting oxygen.
Where's it? Where's it? Suffocation. Aww.
Welcome to our state-of-the-art Zoraxis escape pod. An explosion has disabled primary functions. This is an emergency. Please start engine manually.
Hello? Oh, okay. That, use this. Oh yeah, that. Put that down there. That in there. Enough. See you later. I need that pen. There. No, wait. Keep that open just in case extra fuel comes on. Brick. Grenade. Frick!
Welcome to our state. Welcome to our state-of-the-art Zoraxis escape pod. An explosion has disabled primary functions. This is an emergency. Please start engine manually.
I'll keep that to the side. Are you Come over here. So pretty. Boom! We try.
Welcome to our state-of-the-art Zoraxis escape pod. An explosion has disabled primary functions. This is an emergency. Please start engine manually.
Okay, now that I...
The drawer of grenades was originally suggested by Brad, perhaps on a whim, but it cracked me up every time a player would open it and immediately react by slamming it back shut. As if to say, no way I want anything to do with that drawer of grenades. I added money and a second flare gun later, because tempting you to grab money out of a drawer full of grenades is funny, and John really wanted the dual-wield flare guns at the end of the level. While brainstorming for puzzles, we had a lot of ideas. One of which was a bathroom at a spy party. It would house the secret entrance to something, and you'd be thwarting its security in hilarious ways. But then we realized bathrooms have mirrors, which we were avoiding. Did you ever notice the car doesn't have rear view or side view mirrors? Bathrooms also usually have lots of water and cloth towels, both costly to performance. Oh well.
Why is there water here? Just open it, man.
Hole secure.
How did I turn it on the first time? Oh, this.
Escape pod drained. System malfunction. Warning! Engine overheating. Structural integrity failing. Hull secure. Would you like to... Escape pod drained. Oxygen level self-destruct in 90 seconds.
Alright.
Enter override code to board.
7, Q-band if odd. 7. Q-band even. 5. No. 5, 3, 8.
Self-destruct aborted. Escape pod drained.
Okay. Okay, now...
Our communications are back online, Agent. Signal us to let us know your location.
Okay. Oh. Why are there birds here?
Ah, there you are, Agent. We thought we'd lost you to the wilds of the Caribbean. We're approaching your position now.
I couldn't see you. But okay. 4 minutes. Wow, that was faster than the other ones. Well, because I didn't die in the other ones.
The
Fire
coordinates
away.
you transmitted from the sub before you gave it the old TNT ta-ta point to a hunting lodge in the Alps. The Alps are
I
known
love
for
developer
scenic
commentary.
You've certainly made yourself comfortable in Zor's private hunting lodge. I hear the agency is handing out lodges just like this one to any agent who finds the new machine Zor is working on. If I were you, I'd find that machine.
And fast.
One other aspect that we found really fun was wearables. For instance, we see a lot of people have fun putting the cigar in their mouth, lighting it, and moving their head around. Of course, the hat as well. Surprisingly, many people's first action is to grab the hat off the rack and put it on.
Oh.
They end up wearing it the whole level. Even if they die, the next time they start, they'll put it back on their head. Are you one of those people?
Yeah, I mean, not really. Not really. I should probably put it back on the rack. Yeah.
The white box phase for this level saw us reorganizing a core set of features for weeks, and this placement juggling went on even into the phase when final art was being implemented. We knew we wanted to include scenery, like floor-to-ceiling windows and the fireplace and skylight, but layouts that look great in white box can feel terrible in VR. During rapid whiteboxing, we normally test out the scenes with low-fidelity baked lighting. The downside with this is that it's very hard to get a feel for what the scene will actually look like. To solve this, we started whiteboxing with real-time lights in a deferred rendering pipeline, testing that out in VR. When we were satisfied with the results, we folded back into forward rendering with baked lights. I'm sure our tech artist got goosebumps somewhere with me using VR and deferred rendering in the same sentence.
Can you put that away now? Okay. We'll just cover up this. Oh, okay. Create 6.
Control cartridge accepted. Voice authentication required.
No.
Early on, we had your friend, the support
Authentication
agent, being
failure.
captured and held beneath the trapdoor in this room. You could throw him items, and if he didn't need them to escape, he'd throw them back, out of the hole. It was fun because throwing something in a hole and having a person off-screen throw it back to you was surprising, and the randomness felt pretty good. However, it was also frustrating and narrowed the player's focus, so they tended to get stuck. Rather than caring about their own goals, they only cared about what the person in the hole needed next. Ultimately, we went with the mix of parallel and serial tasks we have now.
Bear Archer was one of the first phrases that stuck with me from the beginning of development on this level. It seemed that no matter what happened in design, we would end up with the bear as a key character in the scene that you interact with. There was also some discussion at one point of making the bear speak to you, where his mouth would open and that is where the voice would come from that you hear, instead of the computer system on the desk. But that was thrown out early on. I'm glad at the end he is still as entertaining as he can be, and quite scary if you don't know how to survive bomb arrows.
This level once had a nuclear missile, in a silo outside, instead of a gravity machine. Through a long series of events, we moved the missile itself to Operation Squeaky Clean, and went with no gravity here, because it allowed the machine to be closer, and frankly, no gravity in VR is pretty rad.
No gravity in VR is very hot. I mean cool. He died shortly after this photo was taken. Yeah, turns out people who stand on roads... I'm joking. If anyone gets that reference, please tell me where they got it from.
I'm holding you accountable if we get called back here to investigate reports of flying saucers.
Okay. On. Oh, okay. That's what she said. No, that's too many. You can't be doing that. You're gonna burn the place down. Shut up!
Door alarm triggered. Tear gas activated.
Tear gas? Bear disarmed. Bear disarmed. Where? Are there any other? Up there. There. I thought there would have been more. Like, it would have been flooding the room. I want more. I know this game is, done. But I want more. Oh!
Zero gravity is super fun in VR, and while a whole space station level never manifested itself, this machine is clearly the next best thing. Some players may expect the first laser, but no one ever expects the second.
Gravity.
Oh.
You must destroy that machine.
Oh, wow.
Crystal unstable. Machine malfunction. Laser defense mode 1.
Zor certainly knows you're there now. We're sending a helicopter to extract you. That machine must be destroyed before it arrives.
Crystal unstable. Laser defense mode 2.
Your helicopter's arrived, but it can't get close until you destroy that machine.
Okay. Mom.
Crystal unstable.
I only messed with 2 of them. There goes gravity. Whoops, no gravity.
Get to the chopper! Get to the chopper! Get to the chopper!
Get to the chopper! Explosive finish to foil a villain's plans once and for all. Now, grab that retrieval line, and we'll get you out of that.
Get to the chopper. Oh, that's fun. Really.
It's a shame to see such a lovely lodge.
It's a shame to see such a lovely lodge ruined with such a weird machine.
I have good news, Agent. As everyone knows, you are my third favorite field operative, and as such, I managed to find some money in the budget for that vacation you always mention after nearly dying. Grab the new reel in the door, and we'll be off and running.
Oh, this new reel in the door? Oh, okay, cool.
Now, because I have a passing fondness for you, I've booked you on a luxurious train ride across India, from Delhi all the way to the vacation wonderland that is Shimla. You can thank me later. Indeed, my fleeting appreciation for you knows no bounds. Enjoy the views and the first-class treatment. Honestly, I'm quite jealous, but some of us have to keep the world safe while you're off gallivanting across India. Enjoy your vacation.
Language. Because it looks so pretty. I don't understand it. I can't speak languages with letters. I'm not good with letterlings. I'm good with... Oh. Don't... Oh.
Attention, ladies and gentlemen. The train has run into a bit of a problem. But don't worry, we will sort it out and have you moving again shortly. For your safety, please remain in your cabins.
We iterated on the text in this newspaper at least a dozen times, from big changes in the puzzle to little tweaks in wording and image placement. Half of the changes were made in the brown box stage, that is, when we prototyped with cardboard. At one point, there was math involving subtracting years from each other, and turns out people do not like doing math in VR. I think it's because you can't move your fingers and count on them well. While we still do have a little bit of math, it's much simpler now. And remember, Halloween is on the 31st.
Oh yeah, Monday. Tuesday is the 1st. Wednesday is the 2nd, so it's the 2nd, 11. 112, alright. 3, 10, 1, 1, 2. 2, 1, 1, okay. Did I do that?
The phone is not only a crucial element for finding the defector and solving the puzzle of this level. We saw it as an opportunity for us to have some fun inventing characters and recording voiceovers. Most of the voices you hear are developers from Shell Games, and one of the passengers is having an interesting conversation in Polish and might even send you a little something if you play your cards right.
Say what now?
The phone is not only a crucial element for finding the defector and solving the puzzle of this level. We saw it as an opportunity for us to have some fun inventing characters and recording voiceovers. Most of the voices you hear are developers from Shell Games, and one of the passengers is having an interesting conversation in Polish and might even send you a little something if you play your cards right.
I'm not talking with the handler
There was
yet.
a point in time when we had all your equipment in a secret agent briefcase, but it felt anticlimactic just having all your tools dumped in your lap, and a complex interaction of equipment sockets and an articulated physics object got awful really quick, so we cut the suitcase and decided to use a puzzle to reward you with equipment instead.
Yeah.
We wanted something to rival the Bear Archer from the last mission. Who am I kidding? Nothing could ever rival the Bear Archer. But Spear Guy does come close. You never expect Spear Guy. His name is the Groom in our world, and he's an infamous Indian assassin that wears traditional wedding garb and always gets his point across.
Door locked in case of emergency. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, there are more.
The train stopping sequence at the beginning of the level was initially just audio that we played before fading into the level. We were never fully satisfied with this introduction. Later in development, we evaluated introducing some motion to better sell the sequence. Moving the train posed a few challenges, especially since the level was not built to handle this. Instead, we decided to move the environment around you to fake the train's motion. We were able to do this fairly easily since the train was on a curved bridge, and a simple rotation animation would do the trick. Finally, we wanted to make sure this didn't introduce discomfort for our players, and this is where the closed window shade came as a blessing. It helped keep the motion subtle and comfortable. Originally, the team wanted this level to be in a moving train, and since any kind of motion in VR needs to be handled carefully, it was one of the first things we prototyped. At first, our results were promising, and people who were prone to VR sickness seemed to do fine. However, as we started adding more visual and audio feedback, the comfort level started reducing. While we think there is a world where we could have made this work, we knew it would be at the cost of delivering a fun level, and so we decided not to do it. Instead, we came up with the story of Dr. Zor stopping the train on a bridge in the middle of nowhere and sending assassins your way.
Thank you. Thank you. That'd be a nightmare. Which ear, left or right?
Great job.
No,
this is a job, obviously.
That's
Before
backwards.
getting back to enjoying your very real vacation,
Get out.
find out which cabin the
Get
defector
out.
is in and send them something with the agency
fine.
logo on it.
Oh, how I do enjoy leaving phone messages. Since this is an unsecured line, here's a clever little riddle. Buttons, buttons on the wall. Light them up, but not them all. Clues I've left, there are 4. Just came up with that.
You just came up with that. No, you didn't. That's a lie.
One SAR armored surprise stops the train. Cabin-to-cabin transport will shut off. But Zor's intel says it's train policy to send a free gift to the room of a upset customer. So keep bothering room service to override the lockdown.
Can I look out the window? There's some large vehicle blocking the tracks in our compartments. I don't understand what's going on. Just call me when you get this message. I'm in cabin 2.
I'm in cabin 2.
Zbigniew? Słuchaj, coraz mniej podoba mi się ten pomysł z Indiami.
Nie marudź, Marian. Jak tam zabłysniesz, to wiesz, ile płyt sprzedamy?
Jak na razie, to nasz pociąg utknął nad jakąś przepaścią i stoi.
O, właśnie. Zostawiłeś im taśmę w radiostacji w Teli?
Hello?
Oczywiście, że zostawiłem.
No to zamiast marudzić i zawracać mi głowę, podziwiaj widoki.
What are they saying?
Dobra, pa.
These are vada, served with a sambar, a kind of vegetarian soup. It's fried lentils, quite delicious, but you probably thought they were donuts, which is quite a common misconception. Either way, enjoy. We iterated on the text in this newspaper at least a dozen times. These are vada, served with a sambar, a kind of vegetarian soup. It's fried lentils, quite delicious, but you probably thought they were donuts, which is quite a common misconception. Either way, enjoy.
Sorry, we are tending to some difficulties up ahead. Please stay in your compartment for now.
Oh, that's okay. Have a nice day.
Zor says to take care of the snitch. Retrieve the information from her and clean up any loose ends. Do your job, or else.
Oh. No, not messages.
Still dealing with the situation. Room service is temporarily unavailable. I have sent you a free gift. Please stop calling.
Look at that. A free gift. I couldn't be more jealous of all the fun you're having. Anyway, send the defector something agency-related to make contact.
Oh, come on. A free gift? This is barely a present, let alone a gift. Cancer? Nah, not for me. Wait. Oh, no. Good thing that didn't fall. I love this. Oh, shut up. The company logo on it. Specifically this. Or this.
These are vada, served with a sambar, a kind of vegetarian soup. It's fried lentils, quite delicious, but you probably thought they were donuts, which is quite a common misconception. Either way, enjoy.
Listen closely. I'm only going to explain this once.
Yeah.
I need to know I can trust you. Send me the pardon, and I will send you the intel you want.
I'm sorry if there's something on the...
Thank you.
Yeah.
I can now pursue my music wherever it takes me. The device I sent has what you want. The combination is the date of my birthday. And...
I can't believe it. They killed... Perfect. We're receiving the data. Transmitting it has apparently alerted Zor's assassins to your position.
Frick.
Good for them.
Good for them. Nope, no hat anymore.
Room service.
The old gun through the mail slot trick. I used to do that at the office when I was an agent. I was asked to stop. The old spear through the ceiling trick. Never got a chance to do that one at the office.
Frick! Get out. No, my things! Where'd my cover go? Uh-oh. What happened to my... What dropped?
It would seem Zor underestimated both of us. You impressed me. But let's not celebrate quite yet. Zor's backup is on its way.
We've received reports of a low-flying aircraft in your area. Pilots these days, don't they know that could be dangerous? Just like in the movies. Remarkable.
Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like our little problem has been resolved. We will now continue our journey to the beautiful city of Shimla. Thank you.
It's done. I'm free. I would tell you to come find me someday, but I get the impression you couldn't leave this life behind. So instead, I will just say thank you. And goodbye.
Goodbye. До свидания. Russian map. Steam into my eyes.
Yes, that did count as your vacation, and you just used all of your days.
Well, too bad.
Our train defector had information about Zor's next big move. It's something called the Death Engine, and you must get more intel on it before it's put to use. We're sending you just outside Madrid to infiltrate a Zoraxis facility. Retrieve information on the...
I'm so hungry. What time is it? That's 10:55. I started this, what time? 10:30? Ugh.
Ugh. In the past, we've talked about our games having the goal of being transformational, so they changed something about the player, usually for the better.
Well done sneaking
As
in.
we've developed I
We
Expect
know
to Die
that Death
levels,
Engine intel
we've kind of
is
realized
somewhere
that
in
they
here.
have this additional pillar of being literally transformational, like an Autobot. In the seated single location, though, the best way we found to do this is allow them to see your location itself change, like compartments open, things transform and switch around, revealing toys to play with. That's the main reason the lectern on the table is this multifaceted device that's slowly showing its complexity.
This puzzle started off as a chess challenge, but it turned out to be very difficult to balance, such that it would appeal both to those familiar with chess rules as well as those with only rudimentary understanding. Next, the puzzle became Tangram-inspired. It was going to be about making a Z shape out of various geometric-shaped pieces. This, however, failed in early playtests as simply not being something that is fun with current generation VR controls. Finally, we settled on a simplified version where the real puzzle is figuring out that the golden pieces are meant to slot into the lectern. Initially, we had 12 pieces instead of 6.
So this awesome statue of a bull by Thorn, one of our artists, was the primary reason we ended up setting this level in Madrid. Initially, we wanted Dr. Zor's private collection of art to just convey their dominating, brutal, aristocratic character, which the bullfight statue really excellently did. But as the puzzle developed, the real-world location of where the bunker is took on such great importance that we were looking for kind of subtle ways to reinforce it in the mind of the players. If you look at it, you can also see paintings inspired by the Spanish Armada's defeat, just to reinforce the Spain setting. Of course, the handler at the beginning of the mission just tells you outright that he's sending you to Madrid, but we've kind of come to terms with the fact that no one listens to anything he says, so it is what it is.
Being asked to perform in I Expect You to Die is my proudest personal achievement. Little old hive mind out there on the big stage. I couldn't have done it if it wasn't for my 45,732 assistants. You the real MVBs.
Adding an elevator button seemed like an obvious choice, but it quickly turned out having it poses a lot of game design challenges for the level. We worried about players being put off by the lack of it, but in playtests, nobody seemed to notice, let alone be bothered by its absence.
Oh.
Finding ways to kill the player that can't be avoided is tricky. You can dodge a saw blade, duck as an arrow shoots towards your head, so we found that things like deadly gas and explosions work well. You'll find we use deaths like that in just about every level somewhere. For this level, we wanted to add some new ones, so we thought that maybe a cloud of bees could be a hard thing to avoid, and work similarly to gas, just with bee-sized particles. In an effort to cut the scope of the level, bees were on the chopping block. But that's when the hive mind agreed to take a pay cut and save the game. When an opportunity presents itself, we like to make callbacks to previous levels if I expect you to die. This not only helps enrich the game's world, but can also serve as a hint. Some of the purely flavorful examples of this in the boardroom are the Scorpion and the Vivarium, and calling Zor's weapon the Death Engine, both of which are references from Friendly Skies.
Friendly Skies.
The name plaques in the room serve a few purposes. A hint to the location of the missing chair and the X-ray goggles, foreshadowing of what henchmen you will encounter in the level, and a reference to a defector from First Class. We initially wanted them to have a direct puzzle-solving application as well, where the player would be assaulted with multiple laser beams and would need to use all of the plaques to block the beams.
Huh. Alright, that's it.
Not that I worry about Zor's collection, but do try not to make too much noise.
Welcome, Dr. Zor.
You were Zor all along. Seriously, though, remember what you're after, Agent. It's the Death Engine. The purring of a combination lock mechanism. Unmistakable. Sometimes I do miss field work.
Unauthorized Death Engine use. Notifying security personnel.
No.
Warning. Death Engine data reel removed.
That's the intel we need. Now, find a way to get it out of there intact.
Targeting.
Agent? Extra
Death Engine activation. Targeting. Cairo. Location already targeted.
Dang. I keep dying now. 85% burnt.
Well done sneaking in. We know that Death Engine intel is somewhere in here. You were Zor all along. Seriously, though, remember what you're after, Agent. It's the Death Engine.
Dang it.
This hidden compartment originally had a gun in it as well. We quickly discovered that everyone wanted to shoot their way out of the border, one henchman at a time. We were thinking of giving them a gun with no bullets as a gag, but ultimately we decided it would be better to remove it entirely to keep players focused on escaping instead of looking for missing bullets.
Engage your locations under imminent threat. Where's Madrid?
Lockdown mode engaged. Notifying security personnel.
Nope. Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
The purring of a combination lock mechanism. Unmistakable. Sometimes I do miss field work.
I can't believe somebody already got in there.
Targeting.
That's the intel we need. Now, find a way to get it out of there intact.
Tokyo. Targeting. Los Angeles.
hive mind is gonna be here.
Targeting New York City. Death targeting Sao Paulo. 10 minutes. Targeting Madrid.
Madrid, Peru.
Engaging evacuation mode.
101? Not yet, man.
Just so you know, I am allergic to bees. Just drill that hole. I spy with my little eye something that is bees.
No, go.
No, my bees. Let it be known, Agent. This isn't the last you've seen of me. The hive mind.
What is that? What is that? Oh, yeah. Hey,
9
here.
minutes. Arming
Yep.
the death engine.
Go.
Share launch sequence initialized.
Go.
4, 3, 2, 1.
This hidden compartment originally had a gun in it as well. We quickly discovered that everyone
I'm
wanted to
taking
shoot
that with
their
me.
way out of the boardroom.
A boom boom balloon. I like your funny noises, music man. I should play Fun Nights at Freddy's.
Well done retrieving the Death Engine intelligence agent. Now,
I don't
the
care.
data rail you retrieved from Madrid.
Boop boop balloon. Oh my, there's a lot this time.
When I said infiltrate, I didn't think you'd hijack a personnel shuttle.
Hey, shut up.
I'm impressed. Our intelligence tells us the Death Engine is run by a single
Come on, there's
Axis
one out
operative
there.
who will likely mistake you for a henchperson. Remember, Agent, destroy the Death Engine at all costs.
Personnel shuttle, you clear for docking. Come in, shuttle. Hello? Of course, they sent me an assistant at the worst possible time. Brace for impact!
Death engine activation.
Is there a countdown I'm hearing? What could
Slow, isn't she? I get chills every time she fires.
Death engine activation in 10 minutes.
Be ready, shuttle. Do I need to ask for another assistant already? Note to self. Check on fuses and adjust risk assessment.
The gravity machine in Operation Winter Break was one of the trickiest things to optimize because of all the floating objects bumping into everything. A level built around variable gravity would be foolhardy madness. So that's exactly what we did. We made it feasible by restricting the number of free-floating objects to about a dozen or so. This restriction also led to the computer taking over clue duties, which usually fall to the cards and notes you see in other levels.
Going to space, we knew it's going to be our deadliest level yet. Still, we didn't anticipate just how lethal something as seemingly straightforward as operating an airlock can be. These two buttons started off without any indication of what they do, and an unavoidable death if both doors got open at any time. It seemed like there's no rule for whether the top button made more sense opening inner or outer doors, and players really struggled remembering which one did what. In the end, we were happy to have taken a bunch of teeth out of this innocent-looking death trap, and still observe plenty of players fall victim to it at least once or twice. Encouraged by how well it worked in Operation Seat of Power, we wanted to lean on character presence even more in this level. To give Commander Solaris more space to speak, we decided to cut the player off from the handler and give her his job, commenting on player actions and giving hints. This was a fun challenge given how Commander Solaris goes from believing the player is an unexpected new assistant to ridiculing and eventually underestimating their ability as an agent. In the end, we are really happy with Melanie Minikino's performance.
We really wanted to make this level feel like a culmination of all the other levels. What better way than to add little elements of the previous levels into this one? Some are pretty obscure, like how pulling your life support fuse to access other systems is a bit like opening the window to poisonous gas in Operation Friendly Skies. Others are much more direct, like the crystal-based gravity manipulation from Operation Winter Break, and the pulling of a panel to disable a superweapon from Operation Squeaky Clean.
Want to do their own computing?
We have more orange shoes! Yeah! Thank you, X-Ray!
While we are usually careful about ramping up difficulty, Operation Death Engine was different. It being the last level, we decided to err on the harder, more punishing side. We spent a few iteration cycles making sure things don't get too frustrating, but our hope is that players come away feeling satisfied and accomplished, rather than underwhelmed after breezing through what essentially is the boss level of I Expect You to Die. Having an electrical circuits puzzle felt like a very natural fit for this level. The deadly fuse box went through many revisions to make it less punishing. Some earlier, nastier versions involved no labels on the cover panel and no way to mitigate the need to periodically power on life support. What we didn't quite anticipate is the confusion some of our younger players would have around the concepts of a fuse box and how fuses work. We think we found ways to mitigate most of them, but I feel there's still a youth tax on that puzzle.
Developing the look and feel of the level presented an interesting challenge. We wanted the familiar spy imagery of the 1960s, but space leans more on the futuristic and modern side. For this level, we went for what the 1960s thought the future would look like. The shape language and the colors in this level reference various machines, buttons, and technology of the 1960s. Of course, Dr. Zor's technology, developed by Commander Solaris, may have been far beyond its time.
I'm not sure what hope you've got.
Whenever we start making a new level for I Expect You to Die, we have a bunch of brainstorms for what kind of level it should be and where it should take place. Invariably, someone brings up the idea of a level that takes place in a bathroom. For many very good reasons, we've never done it. Yet. But the presence of this waste management system here is a little nod to this recurring idea.
Uh-oh.
Do keep in mind that shuts down life support as well.
Gravity control. I need the... Oh.
That's dangerous. I approve.
I approve. Oh my.
Dr. Zor, what a unexpected surprise. Obviously. That's hardly my problem, is it? I see. Yes. No. Maybe. I'll take care of it, I suppose. Understood. I said I understand. Well. You're far from home, aren't you?
Auxiliary.
Agent? To think that I almost removed that radioactive waste from your docking bay. I received your file and there's more here than I expected. I'll read it while I watch you squirm.
Dang it!
Note to self. Make sure docking arm manual override container is securely fastened to hull and not sliding all over the damn station. You keep messing with the gravity controller. What do you think that's going to accomplish, right?
One of the special things about this level is how dynamic Commander Solaris' reactions are. Not only will she remark on many of the things you can do, but she'll even change what she says based on how quickly you progress. If you're really quick, she won't even call Zerax's headquarters. She'll know something's fishy if you already have the impact crate in your airlock by the time she gets her camera online.
Just keep that off, you're draining the batteries. I cannot let you use that manipulator. Agent, I enjoyed your bumbling, but enough is enough. Aligning trajectory, calculating force, and catch! How dexterous of you. Don't get any silly ideas now. You're starting to get on my nerves. If you destroy my work, you're going down with it.
Come on, throw another one. Ugh. Orange drink.
Destroying this station will set humanity back a generation's worth of scientific progress.
Dang it! Oh, dang it.
Remember, Agent, destroy this station at all costs.
Death engine activation.
Is that thing firing? They must have built
Isn't she something? It never gets old to see her fire.
Death engine activation.
Nope.
10 minutes.
Note to self. Check on fuses and adjust risk assessment calculations. The chances of the shuttle surviving the next blast are, well, low. Where's that camera feed? Ah, not that yet. I'll put you to work as soon as I can confirm your arrival with ground control. This is Death Engine Commander Solaris. Clearance 20R7. Yes, they're here now. What? I'm looking right at them. They're in a Zaraxis personnel shuttle. Yes, I can wait. Dr. Zor, something exciting must be going on since you've decided to talk to me. Are you serious? How incompetent can ground control get? I understand. Fine. Sure came a long way to accomplish nothing, Agent. At least that nuclear waste is definitely not my problem now. I received your file and there's more here than I expected. I'll read it while I watch you squirm. It's nice of you to stop wasting my oxygen. Just keep that off, you're draining the batteries. You keep messing with the gravity controller. What do you think that's going to accomplish, huh? Note to self. Make sure docking our manual override container is securely fastened to hull and not sliding all over the damn station.
Yes.
Okay, very clever, but now what? Only I know the combination to the lock and it changes all the time.
Who cares about that? 1171.
How did you get it? Luck, all luck. I cannot let you use that manipulator. Agent, I enjoyed your bumbling, but enough is enough. Trajectory, calculating course, and catch! Just safely throw the crate towards Earth and nobody will get hurt. What do you think you're doing? Blowing up the Death Engine is guaranteed to kill you. If you blow up the Death Engine, you're going down with it.
Yeah, I get it. How do I make you throw another one?
Why, yes, I do have more. And catch!
Oh, come on, the music fades out. That's terrible.
Agent! Agent! Agent!
Agent! Wait, do you think there's...
Well, Agent, you've finally done it. You're dead.
Credits.
At least officially.
Are there any in here? Oh, skip credit. No, not yet.
All's well that ends well, as they say. You've escaped in a pod in the Caribbean, blew up a lodge in the Alps, crash-landed a car in exotic Zanzibar, broke a window on a building down the street, enjoyed a relaxing vacation, piloted a flying armchair, and explored the very cosmos. I must admit,
skip credits, because I don't think there's any secrets in here. And now I'm gonna do the...
You've finally done it, Agent.
Credits.
You're dead.
The intro credits sequence was not originally a planned part of the project.
Yeah.
It started off as an experiment with no art or tech support, stealing assets from the levels and making new objects like coffins and sharks out of simple cubes and spheres. Many of the unique objects you see during this sequence are still actually from abandoned iterations of levels. For example, the Tesla coils in the final hallway are early versions of the virus vat from window washing, and the rocket silos are from an old version of the lodge. There are certain materials that appear as a solid color regardless of angle or lighting. We use these elsewhere in the game for luminous objects like indicator lights or lasers. We created the flattish style of the credits by applying these types of materials exclusively. Everything is still 3D, and it's especially interesting in VR because your brain still tries to parse the distance and shapes of these silhouettes. And it can, to a certain extent, when different colors are near each other. This allowed us to do little tricks like have something that seemed flat suddenly reveal depth as you move, like the agency logo, or have objects morph as they rotate. This song literally began as me improvising lyrics into my phone late at night, coming into work and being like, hey Bonnie, hey Tim, what if we did this, but like, actually good? We were still bootstrapping at this point, but I approached Jared, Sean, and Mark with the phone-sung song and thrown together visual prototypes. They were on board enough for us to feel comfortable continuing to experiment, with the hope that perhaps this was something that could be unlocked at the end of the game. Jared did his own pass on the lyrics, and by fusing the two versions, I got our final song.
Once the lyrics were close to their final state, I felt inspired on my lunch break one day and recorded myself singing the lyrics a cappella, which ended up being pretty much the final melody of the song.
I then took the lyrics, the original phone recordings from Connor, and the melody Bonnie recorded, and fleshed it out into a full-fledged song. The first recording of the song was just me and my piano, recorded hastily in my apartment at like 2 in the morning. Eventually, I made another version of the song with a rough instrumentation of strings and brass, with Bonnie singing lead and both of us on the backing vocals.
In January 2016, we finally showed our credits experiment to the studio leadership. It went pretty well. It was decided that this would be the first thing we've seen, which is a little more pressure.
Meanwhile, I was working on fleshing out the orchestration more with virtual instruments and made a new demo. I submitted a segment of that demo to the Music Demo Derby at GDC. The feedback we received was that it sounded like a polished demo rather than a final product, and that we should look into recording live instruments. We contracted some studio musicians, recorded new vocals with Bonnie and the background singers at local Pittsburgh studio Red Cayman, and then they took care of the rest of the mixing and mastering of all our stems. We ended up with a really great final product. I don't think any of us ever imagined that this would have been possible, but we are all incredibly proud of the end result.
I liked that. I really, really liked that. Almost makes me jealous. Oxygen is for the weak. What? Stop and go potty? Ew, no. Orange picking. What? I don't get it. That. Spy training, I did that. These guys did that. Dive did that. Winter break did that. That. Did that. Language settings. I haven't done this. Duş español.
Ah, yes. Isn't modern technology something? Not to interrupt, but there's a mission to complete. Test, test, 1, 2, 3. Test, test, 1, 2, 3. Do you copy?
Alright. That also counts as the whole game. And, me doing the whole game in one sitting. Meat ration. Doesn't expire. Can't I hear? Don't do that at home. I guess it's over. Alright, see ya.